Hi, JD here again with another car finance related tutorial for you. Today we're going to look at the new BMW 5 Series. Thank you again for all the emails I get. I can't quite remember who it was, but somebody emailed me recently and said, could we look at the BMW 5 Series? Because it may change, but currently on Q2 2020, BMW are offering 1.9% APR. So it's quite a nice deal. So let's just see how it stacks up. We're going to stick it into the old spreadsheet. We'll look at roughly anticipated depreciation over, say, year 1 and year 2, in case you wanted to get out the agreement early. Not that you really should ever try to on a PCP, because regardless of what the car is, you'll probably be in negative equity, but we shall see. And then I also just want to touch upon something which I think I've talked about before, but it's how a deal is structured and how it can affect your VT point, your voluntary termination point. So should you ever get into financial difficulties and should you need to get out of that agreement, whether you've got a deposit contribution on the agreement from the manufacturer or whether it's a discount, can greatly affect where the VT point lies. So I just want to consider that as well today. So all I did, I just went on to Google and I did a search for BMW 5 Series offers, and the first one that came up was Stratstone. So again, no affiliation with anybody here. This is just the first example that came up. So let's have a look at this. And as you can see, it says reopening special offer. And it's saying a BMW 5 Series 520d MSport Saloon 4-door auto for $439 a month, or a one-off payment of $42,370. So that's the actual purchase price. So let's have a look and break this down. So as you can see, if we scroll down to the quotation, the example, they are saying this is a 48-month agreement, 47 equal payments, with month 48 being where the guaranteed future value lies. Again, I've mentioned this before, but I can't emphasize it enough. If you're asking for a quote from different manufacturers, just make sure they're using the same amount of months. So for example, some manufacturers, if you say I want a 4-year deal, they will give you a quote based on 48 equal payments, with month 49 being where the final value lies. In this case, up with BMW, it's a 48-month agreement, but it's 47 equal payments, and month 48 being where the final payment lies. So it might be that you're trying to compare, and you might be thinking, oh well, this second agreement is cheaper per month slightly, but actually it might be 1 month longer. So just make sure you're comparing exactly like for like. If it's a 36-month agreement, make sure it's 35 equal payments, with month 36 being the final payment. Or is it 36 equal payments with month 37 being the final agreement? Okay, just make sure you understand fully what they are quoting you. So in BMW's case, they are using what I call term -1. So 48 months, but with 47 equal payments. So they are saying it's 47 equal payments of 439, a customer deposit of 469, and a dealer deposit contribution of 7410. So a hefty discount or hefty deposit. And as I said, at the end, we will just show how that can affect the VT point, whether it's shown as an actual deposit or whether it's shown as a discount. It's 1.9% APR. They base this on 8,000 miles a year. And it's got a final value of 15,291.64. Now, I think a few videos ago there was an example I showed you where I couldn't get the maths to add up. Now, I've already looked at this, and this is another one of those examples. So if I put this into the old spreadsheet, look, so the total cost was 42,370. Our deposit was 469. And the dealer deposit contribution was 7410. So we are basically borrowing 34,491. The guaranteed future value was 15,291.64. And the starting month we'll say is next month, so July 2020. Doesn't really matter, it's just for the amortization table below. And then APR is 1.9. Now this is important if you do get a copy of the spreadsheet. It's the the amount of equal payments. So I'm not going to put 48 in that box, I'm going to put 47. Now this is the confusing part, because look, the spreadsheet, yes, the spreadsheet can be a pound out now and again, but it's actually saying 44842, and they've got what they got, 439. So there's something that doesn't quite add up here. So I'm just going to deviate slightly, and I'm just going to reverse engineer this to show you why I can't get it to work properly. And if anybody can see what I'm missing, please do let me know. So if we look at this, so the way you can check things is to kind of reverse engineer it. So the total amount payable on the agreement lot is 44236. Okay, so we're going to take 44236 and we're going to subtract the final value, which was 15,291.64. So that leaves that amount. We're then going to subtract the deposit of 469, and we're going to subtract their deposit of 7410. So that gives a total amount left of 21,065.36. So that is the amount that you're paying down over the 47 equal payments. So it goes to show, if I divide that by 47, we should get 439. So divide that by 47 and we get, oh look, 448, which is exactly what the spreadsheet is showing us, give or take a few pence. So I cannot get their quote to add up. And I know something must be wrong, because it tells me there, look, the total amount payable with interest and everything, 44,236. The spreadsheet's got 44,246, so it's £10 out over 4 years. So there is another deposit missing from here to get a value of 439. So if anyone takes this deal out, I'd be interested to hear from you to actually try and get our heads around why it's 439 and not 448. Anyway, that's just a small bit aside. Let's go to the spreadsheet, and what we will do is let's try and roughly anticipate what this car is going to be worth after 12 months and 24 months, and let's see if we're in any kind of negative or positive equity. Now, a few people have asked me where I used to get my cap values from. So when I started the channel a few years ago, there was a website that would enable you to get free cap values, but it doesn't exist anymore. You have to pay, and the last time I looked, it was about £2 or £3 every valuation. So it would have bankrupted me if I'd have if I had to pay for as many valuations as I used to try and get. So the only way you can kind of do it now is to use something like We Buy Any Car or Parker's, which I'm going to use today, and just kind of get a rough idea. Obviously, nobody's got a crystal ball. We don't know what cars are going to be worth in the future, so it's only a rough guidance anyway. So we'll nip over to Parker's, and what we will do is we will go get a free valuation, and we will go, okay, BMW 5 Series, latest model, and obviously in a year's time we're going to be looking at a 2019 car, aren't we? So we'll go year and plate 2019, and it's going to be a 520D MSport 4-door auto. Okay, and I'm just curious, so let's see what this comes out at. It comes out at... Now, the only problem with this is Parker's don't give you a part exchange value anymore. They only give you a typical price that you would pay privately or at a dealer. So we're going to have to, let's take the dealer price and take off probably £2.5 grand, £3 grand. That's probably going to be the markup that they've got. So I can only guess, but let's say you would get £22,000 for that after 12 months. So over onto the spreadsheet, if we go to 12 months time, which is going to be July 2021, and we're going to say roughly 22 grand for that car. So it's giving us a valuation, sorry, an equity figure of minus £7,800 or thereabouts. So just shows you, even though with a really good discount, a really good deposit contribution, we could still potentially be in about £8,000 of negative equity. That's why you should never try and get out of a PCP, unlike Muggins here, after 12 months, because you're more than likely going to be in negative equity unless you put a huge deposit in. Let's try after year 2. So nip over back to Parker's, and what we will do is just change the year to 2018. So let's come back again. So we're going to go for 2018 again on a 520D MSport 4-door auto, and it's now saying, you see, it's not dropped that much at all. It probably dropped a couple of grand, so that's why it's better to keep it at least 2 years. So they're saying dealer price 22.5 to 23.5, so I don't know, shall we say 20 thereabouts? So let's go to year 2, which is going to be July 2022 after 24 payments. A valuation of 20 grand. Still nearly £5,000 in negative equity. I'll tell you what, let's just try one more. We'll try year 3, although I don't know whether this current 5 series was available 3 years ago. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, so let's say 2017. Again on a 520D MSport. That's now coming out at, you see, again, hardly dropped at all. 20,280 to 21. So what, 18 shall we say? So 18,000 after 3 years. So that's going to be July 2023. Yeah, we're not doing too bad. 1,900 quid in negative equity. So again, as I've said before, PCP can work extremely well for people who aren't like me. For people who are going to go, right, I'm going to keep this full term, hand it back. Okay, but if you do want to get out early on, it's probably not going to be easy unless you put a bigger deposit in. Okay, one last thing, VT points. So remember, VT is where you might get into financial difficulty and you want to be able to hand the car back, and subject to fair wear and tear, and pro rata mileage adjustments, you should be able to give the car back when you have paid 50%. And remember, it's not 50% of the term, it's 50% of the total amount on the agreement. So that includes any deposit you've paid and any interest charges. So in our case, look, if it's listed as a deposit, so that's counted as a deposit that kind of you have paid, the VT point on this particular agreement would be roughly after 32 payments. So about March 2023, you could give that car back. Okay, but look what happens if we don't use the dealer deposit as a deposit and we use it as a discount. So the total cost is 42,370. So 42,370 lot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off their deposit contribution as a discount instead. So actually 34,960. So what we're going to do is put 34,960 into the spreadsheet and take off the dealer deposit contribution, just leaving our 469. And look what happens. Same monthly payment exactly, obviously, but the VT point is now 40 months. So December 2023. So it's useful to make sure, not that I would say VT, because it will go on your credit file somewhere, but it can make a huge difference depending on how that deal is structured on the invoice. We've lost 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, 10 months. So it was March 2023, 32 months, just by changing the way the deal is structured. Even though your monthly payment's exactly the same, we now can't VT until 40 months or December 2023. Okay, hope that was useful. Again, thanks for watching. Please do continue to comment and subscribe. Email me here if you want to find out how you can get a copy of the spreadsheet, or to ask me anything in general. Obviously, I can't give you advice, but I can give you my friendly opinion, and I hope that what you're learning from the channel continues to be useful and helpful to you. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Take care.